Light the beam, everybody. It's time for Nerdy for 30, the podcast where we talk about nerdy-ish things for 30-ish minutes. We're compelled to do this. We are driven to do this. Who are we? We are Kevin Bauer, aka the Critic's Choice, and my faithful co-host, the People's Champ, Tim Keck.
Man, we are talking Expendables 4, Expend4bles. If you haven't seen the Expendables, before, you're crazy. You live under a rock. 80s movies are the best, and they are trying to basically grab a bunch of 80s action stars, throw them in another movie with zero stakes, and they're just blowing stuff up, having a good time. It's awesome. They are like they basically assemble a team of mercenaries to go do the things that like the government can't get involved in, and they do it in, I would say, the most absurd and unpractical ways possible, but it's a good ride. Would recommend. Kevin, what are your thoughts on the Expend4bles? And have you even seen any of the other movies?
No, I haven't. You were addressing me directly in the beginning. Haven't seen a single other Expendables movie. And the reason why is 80s movies were great. 2010s movies famously were not. Everyone for a solid 10 years forgot how to make a fucking movie. And it wasn't until the 2020s that we had a resurgence of quality. Post-pandemic, the pandemic gets a lot of shit, but it really kicked Hollywood in the ass. Got things moving again. Oh boy. Hey, the strike's over. It's great. We're back, baby.
Not all the strikes.
Not all the strikes. We still support those striking and hope that the AMP TP come around to these reasonable demands. We're not talking about that today. We're talking about the Expend4bles. Tim, I was shocked. I was absolutely shocked when I turned to you after the credits rolled and I said, that was a lot of Jason Statham. And you told me that this franchise is primarily a Jason Statham franchise. That blew my mind. I thought the whole thing was like vignettes of this huge cast blowing shit up.
See, I don't know if I'm right about this. I rewatched the third one after this. I remember the first two being much more about Jason Statham because realistically, if we're comparing who is like the most efficient person to be carrying an action movie, sure, Jason Statham's still in the prime of his life, baby. He's got decades left. Stallone, I mean, he'll stand there, he'll smash some dude's head in, and he'll kick ass. I don't really want to see him run anywhere, you know? Jason Statham's kicking people in the face. I don't think Stallone, we don't see Stallone go upstairs in any of these movies. So, and I think that's fine. I think that's fine. It's great. It's cool that he's here.
Tim, Stallone is like a horse. You can lead him upstairs, but you cannot get him back down. The film crews have been advised about this.
Is that horses or cows?
I want to say it's any even remotely bovine animal. If you get a deer on the second floor of your house, you better start bringing food up there because that's where he lives now.
Because now if you have a deer on the second story of your house, you have to bring food up there to feed this deer. Now are. If a deer invades your home and camps out on the second floor, tough cookies. Better start feeding that deer.
That's an indoor deer now.
Can't let it outside. You got to close the door so that it can't get out, and it's gonna try. You got to stack up on salt licks, man. Okay. The deer thing is great. So the third movie is a Sylvester Stallone movie. He's carrying the action. I don't know. Okay, to refine my theory, I think a lot of these movies are ensemble at the beginning, ditch everybody, have like one protagonist each time who kind of is the main force, and then at the end, everyone does. It's like the Expendables again. But there is downtime, and they can't have Randy Couture on screen for an hour and a half. You can't do it. He's great. His bit with his ear, so funny, so awesome. He said he had like 4 lines in this, and it was great. It was just the right amount of Randy Couture. I don't know if we need monologues from 50 Cent. I don't know if we need any more time with these characters, but damn it, dude, the choice to go with Jason Statham is so good. I loved it. I would watch a million Jason Statham movies. I have. And you know what? Having these dudes around him, it's fun. It's cool. It's neat. Would you be excited if another person was carrying it? in this cast?
Of this cast, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Not one bit. Jason Statham at 56 years young is the most sprightly member of this crew by far. Yeah, no, I wasn't mad, to clarify. I wasn't mad that Jason Statham was leading the movie. I was mad that we didn't get more from these other characters, which you're right. I don't know that we need to be throwing a whole movie on Curtis Jackson's shoulders. Randy Couture has done enough. He's done more than enough in this movie. I expected, having heard the lore about these movies for years and knowing that these are these legendary movies that reunite all these 80s action heroes that used to not want to be in the same room with one another, I was expecting so much. And I think all of the big people, maybe they died in the previous movies, but most of the heavy hitters are gone from this franchise by this point.
This is the weakest cast by far. And if we're getting into beefs, Kevin, I mean, the cast is a low point for me. Sure. I feel like my biggest beef is just to establish the stakes of this movie. The team's on a mission. It looks like Sylvester Stallone is killed. They find a burned corpse with his ring on it. Very burned corpse. And then it turns out that Sylvester Stallone has been alive the whole time and faked his death with a character named Jumbo Shrimp, who is all of 4 feet tall. And for some reason, a burnt 4 foot tall corpse looks exactly like Sylvester Stallone, who is 300 pounds of just saggy muscle. And the idea that these bodies would look similar at all is crazy. The fact that the ring that Stallone wears didn't keep falling off the skeleton's finger the whole time was insane. That would have been a fucking belt for Jumbo Shrimp. So
they had the ring on a dildo in the beginning of the movie. I leaned over to you. It's behind the bar. The movie opens with Stallone and Statham going to get Stallone's ring back. He lost in the thumb wrestling competition. And a hilarious joke throwback to Over the Top. And they have, he's like, all right, where's the ring? And the bartender gestures behind him. Gestures behind him. He gestures behind. They're all joking around to a double dildo. It's not a single dildo. It's a dildo with like another penis coming off of where the testicles should be. And the ring is on the bigger of the peni. It's on the thick one. And I leaned over and was like, how big is Stallone's thumb?
I'm also, I feel like I saw the ring from the other movie. This is not the same ring. It feels like every time it's a different ring. It's like a skull and crossbones. But if we're trying to build a storied history around this ring, it is not the same. You know, it's like the WWE Championship belt. It was different 60 years ago. It doesn't have the same weight it used to. Stallone not being dead, kind of a beef for me. I know that this movie doesn't have stakes. I get it. I love it. I think it's cool. Something about him just being like, meh, at the end, it's like, okay, so we don't really care about any of this. He's going to keep going. And I think they're trying to make more of these. I think they want Stallone and Jason Statham there. I don't know how much more Stallone I want, but maybe I want more, Kevin. I don't know. What do you feel about that? Do you have a better beef than that with this movie?
No, I dropped my biggest beef up top, which is just that I wanted more fight scenes with more of the rest of the cast, because I do think the fight scenes we got with the rest of the cast were very good, especially the final battle on the boat with everyone. Wonderful fight scene.
Yes.
Like truly great. Everybody was bringing their A game. In regards to Stallone dying or being alive, I like that he was still alive because it puts this movie firmly into the category movie that it is, which is the kind of movie that is willing to pull off a third act reversal of the major driving force of the entire movie. It just tells you exactly what it is. And I have so much respect for a movie that's willing to do that.
I mean, right off the top, you know what kind of a movie it is, because the jokes are all like dad humor. They're making like bald jokes, like fat jokes, like short jokes. Like they're just mocking physical appearance. I mean, honestly, it's refreshing that people can just like insult people for the way they look, and everyone's like, yeah, here we are. This is what we do now, you know? It was just
It's a throwback to the 80s, Tim.
it's a throwback to the 80s.
Men, 80s values.
Or men were men and they could hurt each other. And
Finally, someone willing to punch down.
And then my thief for this is they do a car chase, which is fun. And they're racing around this building, and there's like two people in a car. One guy's gunning on top, one person's driving, and they get to like a giant pile of trash with some other trash kind of leaning on top of it to form some sort of a ramp. And the guys, like the guy gunning gets into the car, and then the guy driving is like, all right, let's do this or whatever. I guess we got to go. And then they hit this ramp, and it's cool. They go up in the air, they come back down the other side, and they land. Right behind them is the second car that just drove around the pile and lost no time or speed whatsoever. And I'm like, that somehow tells me everything I need to know about the Expendables. Like, we're not about, you know, driving around obstacles. We're going out of our way to go through them, over them, under them, whatever. This is 100% pure entertainment value. And I know I'm saying that after beefing about Stallone, but him being alive fits perfectly into like what the Expendables is, honestly.
Totally. I feel like the heart of the Expendables franchise should be overkill. One of these action heroes could usually handle all these things. I remember people talking about this with Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. The soft pitch that Peyton Reed had for the movie is what happens when one single Avenger encounters an Avengers team level threat. That's what he was trying to sell the movie as, whether or not he actually succeeded to do so. I feel like the Expendables movies should all be a situation that one of these action heroes could have solved on their own in the 80s alone. And now it's being hit by 12 of them together.
Like it's a job that needs a hammer, but instead you're just bringing in like a bulldozer and just running it over, you know? That nail is getting wrecked.
100%.
Overkill. Yeah, they could do more of that. Yeah, but it's good that it's nice to be wanting more too, even though it's Jason Statham. What's your biggest thief, Kevin?
Biggest thief for me is probably that this movie has a 13% right now on Rotten Tomatoes, which means that with everything about this movie, it still somehow managed to be underrated.
Oh my God.
I thought this was significantly better than a 13%. I had a blast watching this movie.
Who like went to go see this movie and was like surprised, or like this is the fourth one? It stars Sylvester Stallone, and there's people who are walking away from this like, you know, I don't know if it's going to be an Oscar contention, or I don't know about the acting performance of whoever it was. Terry Crews. I don't know if Megan Fox was the real lead we really needed. I mean, just useless info. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. I'm saying, man, this is why it's great that we finally broke out tiers and classes for these movies, because it seems like a lot of people came into this expecting the wrong class of movie.
They're crazy. They're crazy. Speaking of crazy, there's a bunch of characters in this. I thought we could, you know, get to know them a little bit by maybe doing a little draft. Kevin, how does that sound?
I'm into it, dude. Let's go. I'll give
you first pick, and we're just going to go, I think, only 10 deep, because I don't know if there's a lot here, honestly. Let's pick teams to go to fight each other, you know?
Okay.
And you pick the best team that you think could kick my team's ass, and I'll do the same. And I'll give you the honor of first pick, which I feel like is a no-brainer, Kevin.
That sounds great. I'm 100% with you. It's a no-brainer. I think we both know exactly who this is. But before I formally make the pick, I got to clarify. Is it heroes only? Am I allowed to have an antagonist on my team?
Any character from the movie.
Literally any character from the movie.
Any character from the movie.
I gotta go Tony Jaa.
Oh no! Oh
Tony Jaa ruled. You know why I think this movie hits
wow!
so hard with both of us? It is a trope fest, dude. This is tropes from start to finish. Everybody has their distinct thing. Tony Jaa comes into this. I'm assuming most of the people listening to this podcast haven't watched the movie. They're just coming to this with morbid curiosity. I'll lay out Tony Jaa's thing. He used to be this insanely talented killer. He was like faster than a bullet. Like he was like a viper striking before people could even see. And he shepherds Jason Statham to the boat where the rest of the Expendables are being held captured. And Jason Statham's like, "What's the matter? Aren't you coming up to do this fight with me?" And Tony Jaa's like, "No, I spent so much time putting that life behind me. I'm worried that if I brought the killer back out, he'd never go away again." Maybe a half hour later, he's on that boat just slitting throats, just absolutely eliminating people. Yeah, Tony Jaa, my trope king. He's my number one pick.
Oh man, I kind of thought I'd be able to pick him up later for some reason, but I'm going with the man Lee Christmas, Jason Statham. You got to. I mean, this dude did all the work of. I mean, basically, he's kicked off this Expendables team, and the whole crew goes in, immediately gets captured, and then Jason Statham Christmas meets up with Tony Jaa, and they just do everything themselves. And it's incredible to watch. They're riding motorcycles on a boat, which I didn't know I needed, but they're having like a motocross fight because they have like guns in the front. And he just mows down 60 people, just driving around and shooting them with the guns on this motocross thing. They're doing jumps. They're playing like laser tag, like hide and seek, and just like a bunch of like obstacles on the boat. It's incredible, man. If you got to kick ass, Jason Statham, number one pick. I feel like he dropped to number one, dropped to number two. Who you got next, Kevin?
Oh, he was great. Next up, I'm going full trope team, dude. I'm taking Dolph next. Dolph's arc in this movie, his character arc in this movie.
Yes.
Is that he had to learn to accept the fact that he is better as an alcoholic. His friends express that they liked him more as an alcoholic, and he is bad at his job until he goes back to being an alcoholic. I mean, holy shit. What a fucked up moral.
Sober, he can't hit anybody. And then he has a couple drinks and he's just sniping people like crazy. I mean, it's wild. I mean, that's top tier dad humor. Like, that guy's short, that guy's bald, sobrieties for losers.
Oh,
Like, it's just a great trifecta of like toxic masculinity or whatever.
Dude, we have seen a lot of shit. I mean, my jaw hit the floor when they did that joke. I could not believe it. Who you got next?
I'm terrible at this name. Iko Uwasi. Uwais. This dude's incredible. I feel like he was a little underutilized in this movie. They get some awesome kills up top, but then him and Jason Statham square off, and it's a little underwhelming. I was surprised how short it actually was. Like they're actually head to head. But this dude, the Raid 2, Headshot, The Night Comes for Us, Mile 22, which I guess is okay. I mean, this dude is a top tier talent. He's only 40. And I feel like as a villain, fine, cool, whatever. You need bad guys and stuff. He should be in the Expendables. If you're looking to make 2 more of these, how is he not in the Expendables? It doesn't make any sense. And I think you can get away. I get why they did what they did a little bit if they've got Andy Garcia as like the big reveal, but you can get away with a bad guy that's more talk than action 95% of the time, right? And yet they got a guy who is kind of the opposite, honestly. He is a man of action. He deserves to be on the Expendables. It would be an honor to have him on the Expendables, and it's crazy that he's not.
It'd be incredible. I would love if somehow he wasn't dead and he comes back. They need to be doing the Fast and the Furious thing with this cast.
They do.
It's like that legendary metal that only takes in the things that make it stronger. Like I think that's like the goblin steel. That's how like goblin steel works. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, the Expendables cast needs to just be grabbing all the parts that work from these other movies.
All right. What do you got next?
I cannot believe that you are just leaving all these pieces on the board and letting me assemble the ultimate trope team. Curtis Jackson, 50 Cent.
Oh,
Him.
I was going to
What are you
get him
doing?
next. I was going
We
to get him
had the
next.
discussion. They play PIMP in this movie. 50 Cent canonically exists in this universe. So we both decided like immediately that it's just him. Like this is Curtis Jackson, the human being. When he is not being 50 Cent the rapper, he is a member of the Expendables.
Also, his name in the movie is Easy Day. Clearly an alias. Clearly an alias.
Yeah.
50 Cent, Easy Day, Curtis Jackson. I mean, this must be what they were going for, right? He must have thought it out a little bit. Okay. For my next pick, I'm a little torn. Maybe Megan Fox. I'm going with Megan Fox.
Interesting.
I feel like we saw nothing. She like as an actor she's somehow like the third best actor in this movie. She's pretty good in it. Fighting wise, I feel like she didn't do anything. Am I crazy? She didn't fight at all. But for some reason, she is the next in line to be the leader of the Expendables. Sylvester Stallone's out, Lee Christmas kicked out, and they're like, sure, let's give this to Megan Fox, and we will not even miss a beat. They're not even worried about Jason Statham being left behind. They're like, Megan Fox, we're in good hands. Now, Andy Garcia being revealed as the bad guy, which really doesn't make any sense because it seems like he could have just done what he wanted to do without even getting the Expendables involved. And I don't know what the plot doesn't make any sense. He is the person who assembles this team. So he does pick Megan Fox to be in charge of the team. Maybe he's setting the team up to fail. I'm taking this pick as a little bit of a gamble that the way the rest of the group accepted her so readily, I bet she's got something. I think she's got some untapped potential. She certainly has leadership potential. She's got all the intangibles like Tim Tebow. You know, she can't read a defense, but she can hurl that ball downfield. And you know what? She looks good in this outfit that they intentionally went out of their way to put her in. So Megan Fox, welcome to the roster, baby. Excited to have you.
Dude, it's like I always say about Colin Jost. This guy has to be awesome behind the scenes. So many people who seem really cool love Colin Jost. He's got a rule. He's got to be super charismatic. He's got to be the best dude.
It doesn't make any sense.
I know. He's got to rock. Man.
Oh, all right. Who's next?
Next up, I'm taking Lash. I'm taking Levi Tran.
Oh my God.
Is it Levi or Levi? I mean, either way, she was
Levi
great.
seems nice.
I think
she
it's
is
Levi.
great.
I know it's a big trope to have a female character that's fighting with like a whip or a chain. I mean, they do it really well. If you're gonna have somebody fighting with like a whip chain, like a razor chain, do it like this. Holy shit, she kicked ass.
Her team up with Tony Jaa is great too.
Oh, amazing. It was so good.
Okay. Stallone's still on the board. I gotta take Stallone. He's there. He's got leadership qualities. He can fly a plane. He won't land it for some reason, and he's gonna insist on flying immediately overhead of the big guns that can take down an airplane.
Yeah.
But I respect that about him. And and I think he's going to be a good addition to the team. Kevin, who's your is your last pick?
It's my last pick. This is rounding out my team. I'm taking Andy Garcia. Look, I know he turned out to be bad, but both of us loved when he showed up. He brings a great energy to this movie. You're talking dad jokes. He's talking about balls the entire movie. He is a dad joke king. Speaking of balls, we're talking about a character that stays on a boat to fist fight someone when the boat is 4 minutes away from having a nuclear bomb go off in its hull.
Yeah. Andy Garcia does nothing for me, but somehow he's the scariest person in this movie, and I don't. I like him as an actor. I'm not sure why he's in the Expendables. Randy Couture is still on the board.
I know you're not going to take him.
Gallon's still on the board. I'm going with my dude Jumbo Shrimp, man.
God damn it.
The way Jumbo Shrimp commands a room. I mean, it was the move was like, don't fuck with Jumbo Shrimp. And they fucked with Jumbo Shrimp and they kicked his ass. But again, I'm going for like leadership and charisma alone. Sure. Jumbo Shrimp's got to be on the team.
Tim, we're talking about a man who, despite being 4 feet tall, is frequently mistaken for Sylvester Stallone. Dead. This guy has so much BDE that people are mistaking him for a man whose thumb has a 6 to 6.5 inch girth.
Incredible. He's a monster, and I feel really good about my team, Kevin.
I feel good about mine too.
So I wanted to pitch you some other people that I think should be in the Expendables movie.
Please.
And I'm sure we're gonna have some overlap. If you have anybody that you want to throw in there, go for it too. Gosh, I don't know if these are in ascending order. It doesn't seem like these are really in any order, but I feel different ways about them. I think you could throw in like a Chris Pratt pretty easily, but he's like too big a star, but he's definitely going for the gunning thing. John Cena, maybe not the right tone, does the gun thing. I feel like the thread with this little section is like too good for the movie, but could do action and would be fun. Uma Thurman.
Yo, yeah.
Would that be fun?
Oh, yeah.
If we saw Uma Thurman just slash some people, do a little katana stuff.
Wow.
Be pretty sweet. Tom Hardy. If Tom Hardy showed up, pretty 100%. Exciting, pretty good. Nicolas Cage. It feels like Nicolas Cage will be in this movie. It's insane that he's not in this movie, I feel like.
Yeah.
He's gonna do it at some point. Again, these are like too classy, but Emily Blunt.
Mm-hmm.
She's awesome. She's in that movie with Tom Cruise where they're fighting people going back in time. She is such a badass. I would love for her to do more action stuff. I'm not sure it's gonna fit. Okay, Kevin, these ones are all gonna pop. These are all gold. Angelina Jolie.
Yes.
How is she not in this movie? I mean, you're talking about kick-ass action movie stars. And, it's good to have some women involved in this. And she kicks ass. She's hot while she does it. I would love to see her in this movie. I think she could fit in, maybe a little too classy for it. Idris Elba. Can we get Idris Elba up in here?
Oh,
he's great. He did he already worked with Jason Statham. That was good. It wouldn't be the Nerdy for 30 podcast without recommending Donnie Yen.
Sure.
How is Donnie not involved in this? He could even be a bad guy. I feel like that would be good,
sure. Donnie Yen
to mix it
plays
up.
A guy who gets blinded in the line of duty. Now,
Donnie Yen plays the blinded expendable. Liam Neeson,
big time. He hasn't been in one of these.
No, seems like a no-brainer. I mean, they brought in Harrison Ford, and they haven't done Liam Neeson. Insane, absolutely crazy. Mia Jovovich.
Oh,
she's great. She does all like crazy action movies. And I think I would pop for her to be in this. I think she'd be great. Okay, last two. And these are the best ones, I think. Batista would seamlessly, without missing a beat, he would fit right into this world and it would be great. And he'd kick ass and it would be fun. He'd do his wrestling finisher and we'd all have a great time. Batista, no brainer. And then the next, at some point, they have to have Keanu Reeves in this, right? Some point we're getting Keanu. He's like maybe the greatest action star of all time, and he hasn't been in this. I think tonally he could figure it out. You could definitely like come in for a couple innings and take people on, but I don't know. Of those, Kevin, who's the one that does the most for you? Who's the one you would be most excited about to see?
Oh my God. I mean, Liam would be wonderful. I really like the Uma Thurman pick because I feel like she's sneaky. Like somehow she kind of fell off the board as doing action stuff. I wanted to pitch right back to you, Lucy Liu.
Lucy Liu would be fantastic. Lucy
Also
Liu's for
wondering,
men.
has Kurt Russell been in one of these?
Oh, I think so. But
Okay.
if not,
glaring absence.
if not, that is really, really good. You should definitely be in this.
Same thing with Gerard Butler.
Oh, that is good. Gerard has not been in the Expendables.
Olympus
That's a really good one.
Stuff. And the other one I was going to ask about, to bounce it off you, what do you think about Bob Odenkirk?
Yeah. I mean, honestly,
action guy.
If Andy Garcia can be in this, then why can't Bob Odenkirk be in it?
Oh, he'd be a wonderful, like, prick member of the government.
Yeah, or just the guy who, like, I don't know, gives them their weapons or something, and then it has to have a scene where he just like beats someone to death with a coffee mug that says like "best dad" or something.
Oh my god! Yeah.
All right, let's throw this on the rankings, Kevin. Expendables 4, better or worse than Creed 3?
Oof. Oh boy, dude, I think I had more fun
than Creed 3.
It's
better
tough.
Because then right above it, the Meg 2. Better or worse than the Meg 2? I think it's better than the Meg 2.
I think it's better than the Meg 2. Yeah, put it up there. Wow.
Now we're at the Air Meridian. Is this above the Air Meridian? I think it is.
I think it is.
This might be as high as it goes, because next we've got Super Mario Bros. No, I don't know. Super Mario Bros. Barbie, Oppenheimer. Is it better than both of those? I think it is. So somehow,
dude, I think it's better than Super Mario Bros. I don't think it can. Maybe. I mean,
think it's.
I had a lot of fun watching this movie. Because I got.
Then it's Everything Everywhere All at Once. Fast X. I don't know. I don't think so.
No, I don't think it takes. It definitely doesn't take Fast X. It definitely doesn't take Everything Everywhere All at Once.
I think it hops.
You think it hops?
It hops Barbenheimer, yeah, and then we go with it. So incredible. Prestigious, solid. This is a solid, right?
This is a. Oh man, yeah. It's like it has all the makings of a whiff, but I mean, it ends up being a solid movie. They whiffed so hard that it became a solid movie. Yeah, I actually I don't think they whiffed at all. I think it's like it's solid. It's like bad, but so much fun.
It's really solid. Maybe there's a category between prestigious and solid that is just like really well. Okay, let's see. What's the other one? What's the next one? How would you say it? Great, really good, good for what it is, or like fun but not good? I could probably just go with fun.
I could go with fun. I could go with I'm good with fun or fun bad, but I think fun. The action was really good.
Is it that bad? I mean,
it's pretty bad, dude. This is a bad movie that we had a blast watching.
Okay. For fun bad, does the badness make it more fun? I mean, the ramp thing, totally unnecessary, but it's so funny. Arnold Schwarzenegger is quoting lines from his movies completely uninvited, like just out of the blue. He's bringing them up. Maybe fun bad. This might be our first fun bad, Kevin. Do you like that?
Yeah, I think it's fun bad.
All right. This is great. I had a great time talking about this movie. I maybe had a better time watching it, but still.
I liked it both.
It's a good time.
What did you think? Did you watch this? Let us know. nerdy430@gmail.com. We're running out of time. We'll be back here again next week with A Haunting in Venice. Hercule Poirot. We love him. We'll see you there. Till then, stay nerdy, everybody. Bye.
Stay nerdy. Bye.